The worse it is, the better it is. Contact the owner and ask him this question. When do you plan on selling? Do the research to see what's a fair price for the home as is, and then write the offer up and then tie it up. Find an investor who want to buy fixer-upper and then sell them the whole contract, including your fee in it. You get an assignment fee for $25,000 for a house like this. You do those 4 times a year, you make $100,000 a year with no money.
Wholesalers don't like you. As a real estate agent, you're annoying. Real estate's interesting. You've got realtors that want to push people in real estate. And basically what I want to talk about today is, and just quickly, like I said, this is a test, so I'm just kind of having some fun, but just want to talk about like real estate agents and kind of these get-rich-quick folks in real estate trying to push people into real estate, which I personally don't think is a good idea right now. I am a real estate agent. Don't think it's a good idea for people who don't have enough money to buy a house right now. If you can barely afford to get in, if you've barely got enough money for your down payment, whether it's 3.5%, maybe you get, gifted some money, with some down payment assistance, you get 100% down, or maybe you're a VA, you get the VA, you're a vet, 100% down. I don't think that's a good idea, mostly because right now the idea with real estate is to stabilize your housing costs. And right now, not only are houses overpriced, the income that people are making doesn't match the purchase that they would like to make. But on top of that, you have the fluctuation in price with the home insurance, HOAs, which can have some surprise assessments coming up, and everything costs more. So anything you get done, plumbing, heating, AC, is going to cost you more money. Any maintenance on the house, having your lawn mowed, your pool cleaned, okay, is going to cost you a lot more money, and those costs could be still going up. And if that's the case, you've put yourself on unstable ground with a very low down payment, and possibly you have no reserves. So if you've got 20% down, great. If you've also got 12 months reserves, which basically means you have enough money in the bank to make 12 mortgage payments without making a dollar. Plus maybe at least 25 grand on the side for a rainy day, just in case something happens with the house, whether it's one of the big systems, could be a roof, could be HVAC, could be a furnace, okay, some kind of flooding. Of course, home insurance should take care of it, but insurance just seems to be more and more, they do not want to pay for anything. And then if they do give you money, then they raise your rates. So you have to pay back the money you gave them. So all the money you've been paying, it's like it means nothing, all right? So anyway, so that's my stance on it. So, you've got a lot of real estate agents that they don't care. They just want to sell you a house. They need to make a commission. And real estate's tough, okay? So it is tough. I personally am not that person. If you are able to buy a house, okay, fine, you can buy a house. The market hasn't made a decision, so it could go up, it can go down. We don't know yet, because the distress is now coming together, right? The distress is falling into line. We don't know what the outcome of that will be. So, needless to say, I'm going to watch some realtors, watch some ideas here, just to, I'm just going to have some fun. I didn't really pick out anything in advance, but, just love hearing what the realtors, have to say. Some of these are from years ago, and I'm curious, does that make sense in the market today? So let's get to it. Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm still learning my system here. So I am going to go, and I think this is the correct screen. I think so. And then I've just got to choose one. I think this is fun. Just because, I mean, that's AI, but, it could be the deal. Oh, I did see a delay in me chatting. All right, let's see if there's something else.
This is the strategy that people employ. Yeah. They buy a property, you fix it up, you rent it out, and then you refinance it and say it's now worth $100,000 more than what you bought it for. You can get a loan for that exact amount, which you then use as a down payment on another property, rinse and repeat. Do I have that right?
So let's say the property goes from 1 to 1.1. They'll give you 70 to 80% of that. That extra $100,000, they give you $70,000 to $80,000 of that.
It's just that simple, folks. Yeah. This is the strategy that people.
It's just that simple? Really? Okay, so you're gonna buy a property, improve the property, and then get it basically appraised. Look, this is a commercial real estate idea. This is not a residential real estate. I think this is the Burr strategy or whatever from the guys at Bigger Pockets, and those are great guys. Nothing against them. It's just back in 2011, coming out of the housing crisis, you were buying into a housing market that was completely destroyed. So the chance of the market going up was really good. So it was worthy, and you could, money was inexpensive, right? The banks were going nuts. They're literally trying to get people to buy these homes that were in foreclosure. And of course, the big corporations came in, the hedge funds, they came in, they ended up buying a lot of these houses. But anyway, point is this. That structure is based on more of a commercial real estate, because commercial real estate, your value is based on your lease. Whether you've got, multifamily, you have office buildings, warehousing, right? If you can come in, and with what they're talking about, that sounds a little bit more like your multifamily, because what you do is you buy an apartment complex. Yeah, doesn't look that great. Could use a paint job, right? You could black tar the parking lot, clean up the parking lot, make it look nice. So what they're going to do is they're going to come in, they're going to buff and polish the place so they can raise the rents. So if they bought it at a specific price, we'll just call it $1 million. I don't know. You can probably get it's very small. And you buy it at that price, and then you improve it, and you then over a year or two, you're able to gradually raise the rents. You can demand a bigger rent because you've got a better looking property. Maybe you go in and you start doing some work on the inside of these units. So, but basically they just want to buff and polish the outside. But needless to say, now let's say you take the value up based on your leases, because now your leases make the property worth $1.5 million. Okay. And then you've put down 20%. Maybe more, but we'll just use 20%. Well, 25 is what you kind of have to do. So $750,000. Your property is now worth $1.5 million. So you got $750,000 in equity, and they're saying you can get about 70% of that as a loan. So you get a loan on the equity that you created, and then you go buy another property. And okay, yeah, but where are we at right now? Are there any of those deals on the market? And again, that being commercial, if you're going to do that in residential, it's going to be tough to do in residential. Because in residential, you can buy up to 4 units, right? So you can buy a duplex, triplex, quadruplex, and still qualify as a residential loan. And then come in, buff, polish, and try it. You could kind of do it, but it's not as effective. You want to work with bigger numbers. So what they're talking about, it seems to be more on the commercial side, all right? It's not going to help somebody who is just wanting to buy a house and get, you want to buy a bunch of rentals? Do you really want to buy a bunch of rentals right now? You're not going to be able to rent them. The renter's market, the people can't afford the rent as it is. And as a landlord, all your prices are going up. It's going to cost more to refurbish a place, fix a place up. It's going to cost more for your insurance. It's going to cost more for, there shouldn't really be, you wouldn't really have any HOA fees, but you could. Actually, you could. I lived in an apartment that was inside a subdivision, and they actually had to kick in to the HOA, even though they didn't own residential. So, yeah, it can happen. But anyway, neat, interesting idea. And for commercial, yeah, it works. Right now, I don't know. You got to find a deal. Multifamily got blown out because of Grant Cardone. Everybody was doing the Grant Cardone strategy. So I don't know. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Let's see what we got. Oh, went the wrong direction.
This is what $269,000 gets you in Las Vegas. Over 2,000 square feet. They even have a pool. That view is beautiful. But I'd still prefer to live in Frankenmuth, Michigan. This is what All
right, I can't see that well. This is... Oh, I can't see how old that is. I live in Vegas. And I'm trying to see if that's a townhouse, but it looks detached. 269,000? Not right now, it's not. You're not getting that for 269,000. There's no way. It looks like a new build, but I mean it's newer, but it could be back on the market. But yeah, you're not getting that for 269,000. You got, I mean, the median condo price in Vegas right now is close to 300. So you're looking to get a condo, which don't buy a condo right now. For the love of God, don't buy a condo right now. You can get yourself trapped into a friggin' mess. All right? Apologize for the water. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time alone. All of a sudden I start talking. I'm not used to it. Throat gets a little dry, get a little cough. It's horrible. All right, so let's see what else we got.
Let's see. I bought these for $350,000, 41 units. That's about $8,000 a door. Let's hop out and we might do a giveaway here too, actually. $2 in the bag. Oh, we got
$8,000 a door.
Let me see. We need to put another 100 in there, don't we? 100 in there. Let's give it some cough drop. All right, let's go get them. So this is a complex I bought 6 years ago. We got 41 doors total, $350,000 investment. Then we put another 150 in it, so we 500 all in. Brings in 20,000 a month. Let's see. I bought these for.
All right, that's it. I wonder where that is. Does it say where that is? Okay. Again, he said he got 41 doors for $350,000. Put 150 in. That can't be recent. I don't know where that is, but again, that's a great deal. Think about that. $500,000 median home price in the United States right now. It's not a great number to go off of because every market is a micro market. It's very difficult. But what I will tell you is that the median home price, I think, is $418,000, $419,000. And this guy got 41 doors for $350,000. So that's got to be, that can't be real recent. If it is, I don't know where he is, but that's a pretty good deal. But then if you got 41 doors, 500,000, like, I don't know, rent should be pretty cheap in there. But so I think that's an older video. But again, that's the idea. Is he put 150 into a $350,000 purchase, and he probably did a lot with 150,000 that you're not gonna be able to do today. All right, let's see what else we got.
How can I make $100,000 a year in real estate with no money?
Let me show you.
Fix it like this. The worse it is, the better it is. Contact the owner and ask him this question. When do you plan on selling? Do the research to see what's a fair price for the home as is, and then write the offer up and then tie it up. Find an investor who want to buy fixer-upper and then sell them the whole contract, including your fee in it. You get an assignment fee for $25,000 for a house like this. You do those 4 times a year, you make $100,000 a year with no money.
How can I make
Wholesalers don't like you. As a real estate agent, you're annoying. And as a real estate agent, you got to be careful because these guys will they'll get in your way. They send you offers. They literally take the purchase agreement, okay, that we basically get from the MLS, from the not the National Association of Realtors, but our local. Here it used to be Galvar, Greater Las Vegas. But news to say, these documents are approved, and we have to use these particular documents across the board, and they will literally get in there and start writing in their own language into the contract. It's ridiculous. They literally get in the way. And I've watched real estate agents get tricked. They end up in a deal, and now you got two people. You got two people closing. You got a seller, and then you got the wholesale guy, and then you got the actual buyer. And it's a friggin' mess, man. If you don't stop with this wholesaling crap, go get a real estate license. This has been irritating me for a really long time. I've had it with you guys. You're friggin' annoying. All right? And if you're a home owner and one of these guys approaches you, don't do it. Okay? Don't. Just go get a real estate agent or sell it yourself. I mean, you shouldn't sell it yourself. And the reason is this. It's a litigious society. Our real estate agents kind of pricks. I mean, are they? Yeah, I don't like them either. I don't like real estate agents because they do lie a lot. And in real estate, the game has become who's the best liar. Okay, and I'm not lying to anybody. And that has actually affected the amount of business I've been able to do. I'm not lying. Okay, I'm going to come in. I'm going to tell you who I am. This is what we're going to do. These are the comps from your neighborhood. This is what we can look at. This is what the market looks like right now. The velocity of money. The velocity, how fast is that market moving? All right? Yeah, we'll do some open houses. I'll go door to door through your whole neighborhood, talk to everybody, see if we can find a buyer immediately. Okay, I'll do all that work. All right, but I'm not going to sit there and come up with this sales pitch. Right, you're going to lay out a book with all these color photos and all this beautiful thing. No! It's a house. It has a function. We're not staging it. I'm not putting a pancake and bacon candle in there on an open house. All right, buyers, you've got to learn how to buy a house. All right, and it can't be on your emotions, what it smells like, looks. You got to have a vision of the house. It's an whatever. It's an investment. Okay, buy it to make money. Can you just do that? Can you just do that? Hate them. Shouldn't say that. Not a nice thing to say when saying that you hate. All right, how am I looking down here? What am I? I'm a mess. All right, what else we got? Let's do a couple more, and then, like I said, this is just a test, so let's see what we got.
Wait, you actually think we can retire in 3 years?
That's what it says. Look.
What is this?
It's called Bolden. It takes everything. Our investments, the house, Social Security, and it shows you exactly when we can stop.
And it says 3 years.
With our current numbers, yeah.
Okay, I'm interested.
If you've got serious assets and...
That was a commercial. I'm not in that particular situation. Are you? You're like, oh, let me just plug in my numbers. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't have any numbers to plug in, okay? These people. Whatever. Oh, no, I love these girls. I love them. All right, we can't get in trouble.
I know he talked about you wanting a little better interest rate. I'm just not sure that there's anything better out there. If you got this...
All right, we're back to trucks. Let's see if we can get... let me see if I can get another... I really want to find a realtor because they're great. You know, this guy here.
If you buy a property like this, it's
Ben
really,
Bankes.
really smart. Why?
Ben Mallah.
Well, we got a fourplex here. I paid $825,000 for it. You get $2,000 a month.
You collected $8,000 a month. $8,000 a month is $96,000 a year. What do you think your property taxes are?
Probably about $7,800 a year.
Out of $96,000, we're going to take roughly $8,000 off of that. That brings you down to $88,000.
And then you got insurance is about $8,000 a year.
Now you're down to $80,000 a year. If he would have laid down the $800,000, he'd get 10% return on his money. You put money down, you got a loan.
Yep.
You only put down what?
$160,000.
And then your mortgage is
$48.25.
Go to benmallah.com and let's put you on the road to success.
I love this guy. This guy is really good fun. He's got his sons involved and all that, but yeah, he's funny. But this guy, he talks about the real numbers, but he's got the leverage that the majority of us don't have. So, but he's good fun the way he goes in. He does commercial mostly, but he does buy some residential. He bought a huge mansion down in Florida. But yeah, if you haven't watched Ben Mallah, yeah, he's really funny. But he'll teach you. But you still need like I think the biggest thing with investing in real estate, again, let's get away from buying a house for you and your family. Investing in real estate is understanding the costs and the return on that cost. That's where you have to focus, okay? So you can get a good deal on a property, you think, but if it ends up costing you more to get it up and running or to actually improve the value, you may have 50% occupancy. It's going to cost you some money to get up to 90% occupancy. Not to mention, if you're doing multifamily, you got to have lawyers. Got to have lawyers, man. You know, renters are rough. And the reason it's expensive for people to rent, more and more expensive, is because it's all the people before you that were disrespectful renters. And now the landlords, they're on top of all of it. Like, they're not taking these losses anymore. And then after COVID, what they did to them and just said, hey, you know, people don't have to pay rent. It's like, well, why do I have to pay the mortgage? right? But anyway, but yeah, Ben, he's good fun. All right, let's see if we got one more.
Real estate is an awful way for you to actually make money.
Oh, look at that. Have you guys seen her? Cody Sanchez. She's good fun. She actually goes around to small business and discovers all these like little small businesses that people have created. All right, let's see what Cody has to say.
Option 1, you can go buy a single family home. Real estate is an awful way for you to actually make money. Option 1, you can go buy a single family home for $400,000, the average price in the US, and then you rent it out to somebody. Well, the average rent nets you, profit-wise, about $167 a month. So you're taking a $400,000 risk for a couple $100 a month. Then you take the average small business, you could buy same way you could for buying a piece of real estate. So $400,000 business, you put some money down and get the rest from the SBA or seller financing, and the average small business makes 10 to 15% per year. You're cash flowing tens of thousands of dollars from a business instead of real estate. Real estate is an awful way for you to actually make money. Option 1.
Nice, Cody. Yeah, that's really well said. Yeah, you really can't buy residential and try to make money. The short-term rental was the best deal. Like, that was the thing that actually worked. Until, everybody went crazy, didn't regulate their guests, and then the party houses happened, annoyed the neighbors. Neighbors got involved, HOA got involved, city got involved, county got involved. Shut the whole thing. I mean, I'm here in Vegas. These guys were making unbelievable amount of money. So the short-term rental, it was good for a time. I don't know that it's good now because it's so difficult to get here in Vegas for sure, but the expenses are so high that they're now penny pinching all the clients that come in. It's a mess. I think midterm rental is still a good idea. It's a B2B type business, right? So you have to business plan. You've got to get out there. You got to talk to insurance agencies. You got to talk to local businesses, colleges, because, you want like the traveling nurse, right? You want that person who's coming to town, for 3 to 6 months, and they just want to have a nice furnished place. You'll get, 2, maybe 3 times normal rent. Now, it's still a furnished, but they're going to be there for 30 days or more. And if you're there for 30 days or more, short-term rental, that doesn't apply to you. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so those restrictions disappear. You just have to watch with your HOA that they don't have some rental restrictions that most of them don't, but they're just getting ridiculous where it's like it has to be 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. They're just taking your rights away. You have a professional that come, they're not going to bother anybody. So I think midterm rental, it's just you got to do the groundwork. You got to be out there. Got to let people know you've got this house available for rent. And like I said, 2 to 3 times regular rent, then the investment can be worth it. Then you can actually make some money. Just depends on your occupancy. It's only one door. So, when someone's there, you're occupied. When they're not there, you're not occupied. You're 100% or you're 0. So, but she's right. It's not a great investment. It's literally, even when you buy it to live in it, it's not the best investment. Right now, the best investment is the stock market. You can buy a business, like Cody was saying, you can buy a business, start a business, do that. I think the best businesses right now are going to be on the secondary market of retail. I think retail is going to be struggling. You can look at TJ Maxx right now, and there's another one out there. It's TJ Maxx, and there's a couple of them, but it's these secondary market sellers, right? So used products, people are going to be hunting that stuff down. Not only that, cash, not this cash app. No, paying cash, get that transaction off the books, barter. Okay, it's like, hey, I've got this, you've got that. I'll trade with you. I'll trade plus 10. I'll trade. You give me $10. Right? Do that. Keep it off the books. Keep it away from the government. But that market is about to explode. You shouldn't be buying anything new right now. Absolutely not. You got to save money. But you don't buy a house. I'm sorry. You do not buy a house right now. Not in this market. Rent well. That's important. But what I would say is, get in the stock market, but when you rent well, you just have to be really careful with the lease. You have to avoid all these fluctuating costs. So you want a gross lease. Here's what these guys did. They took the triple net lease from the commercial, real estate concept, moved it into residential real estate. So if you look at your rent, and now they're charging you separate for trash, pest control, water, right? There's some other ones too, but you want a gross lease. You want a flat rate every month, so it is exactly the same. You want it to include everything except for your electricity, your gas, your cable, okay? That's what you want. But don't rent. Don't buy. Get your money in the stock market. You're like, Tony, I don't understand the stock market. You don't have to understand the stock market. No, I shouldn't say that. I apologize. I was thinking of something else. No, here's my point. Yes, you do need to understand the stock market. The reason I say the stock market is because fractional shares are now available. You don't, Microsoft is $400. You don't have $400 to buy one share. They have fractional shares now. You can get Robinhood. Probably the best one would be Robinhood. There's others, but Robinhood's really kind of the main one. I'm with Schwab. They're bringing in the fractional shares, I believe, but you can buy fractional shares of these companies. If you have $10 at the end of the month, invest it. Okay, you can just buy the S&P 500, buy the VU, the Vanguard VU. Okay, and just ride the S&P 500. It doubles every 6 to 8 years. It's very simple, but yes, you do need to understand the stock market. But here's the thing. You have to also understand the real estate market. And real estate's been a default. It's just been a default go-to. I need to invest, so I'll just buy a house and I'm going to make money as a default without understanding what you're buying. You can't do that anymore either. You shouldn't be buying real estate unless you understand the market. It is an illiquid asset. Number one, is the market going to get better in the future, or is it going to get worse? If you don't have enough money and equity in your house, you're not going to be able to sell your house unless you got a bunch of cash for closing costs. You're going to be stuck. How stable is your job? What if you need to relocate to get a job and now you're stuck with this house? You know what ends up happening? You can't afford the house. They foreclose on you. You lose all the equity, and then you're also going to lose the money that you put down on the house. All the fees, gone. And then your credit's ruined. Don't do it. Unless you got the money, don't do it. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry. I'm just starting to have a good time and just kind of fun talking with everybody. I don't even know. Is anybody watching? Nobody's watching. That's what it's all about here at the Trey Voltage channel. Nobody's allowed to watch. If you're watching, stop now. All right. I'm going to go. I don't know what this looks like. Looks a little hazy. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, good fun. Oh, yeah. All right. I got to remember how to do this. Everybody else does this. So, all right. Wait. I got to get myself ready. Okay. Like, subscribe to the channel because it helps the algorithm. Yeah. It would also help me. You know what I mean? But I'm just working on this. So, yeah. I mean, if you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm just, I got a little knowledge in life. Not much. Basically an idiot, but I think I might be able to help. All right. I'm out for now. Hopefully this thing looked good. Ciao for now.